Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
Batman, my favorite character.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of We Are the Knights, the Asbat podcast. At least this month, kids. Alright, I am Phil, and joining me for all of these Azrael episodes, but especially all this month, it is the Azrael himself.
Azrael. Swooping back into Gotham.
The holy assassin of the Order of the Collective.
The Sacred Order of the Biscuit.
Oh, nice. Alright, so this time we'll be covering another Bloodlines annual, Batman Annual 17, and Batman 506 and 507.
I think this is our last Bloodlines annual, right?
Yes. Yep.
Fourth and final one.
It's ironic. It's the first one that John Paul was in.
Yep, when he was still wearing the Batman
just the regular
suit.
Batman suit, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much right after he first started as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
So shall we jump into it? Lots to unpack here, especially this, and then those Batman issues.
Well, the annual too. See, I couldn't find my copy of this one, so for the purposes of this episode, I'm going strictly from memory. But if I remember right, it was the entire story.
Oh yeah,
the 64-page annual. Yeah, there wasn't any backups or anything. Yeah. So they had a lot of story to tell.
Oh yeah, and again, we get into the backstory of one of these New Blood characters, and unlike last time, yes, he gets his powers. It's not at the very end of the issue. So, Oh hey, look, there's a new Mortal Kombat movie coming out in September of '93. Oh no, it's the video game. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's the video game, yeah. Nothing can prepare you, it says.
Prepare yourself. No, it says prepare yourself.
Oh, prepare yourself. Okay.
Go prepare yourself.
I think it was the sequel, Mortal Kombat 2, that said nothing can prepare you.
Oh my lord, this is these I love these issues. I love old issues. They're quite the time capsule.
They really are.
Oh.
Especially the ads.
Oh, Super Nintendo. Batman Returns.
Oh, yeah. Gentlemen, start your screaming. Yeah. The double page ad for that.
Yeah, because I know that, that always gets me in Lilith, where it's like, you crack open a 90s issue, all it is video game ads and.
Yeah. Baseball cards, trading cards.
Oh, or the best, thing. Or the best of both worlds, sports games.
Sports games. On the links. Did you know anybody who ever had a Lynx?
No, did you?
I didn't either. No, I've never even seen a Lynx in my life.
I wouldn't be surprised if Lilith did, because from the way she talks, it sounds like she came from a little bit of money. Because seems like all the neighborhood kids came to her house for all the cool toys. So
nice.
I mean, they weren't rich, but it sounds like they had the most money in the neighborhood. So
all right, I wonder if she had a Lynx. We'll have to ask her.
Oh my god, she was so popular.
She's a cool girl. Everybody wants to be like her.
Oh my god, she's gonna come up here and murder me. See, you keep going. She don't know where you live. She knows where I live.
Well, she could probably find me easy enough if she wanted to.
Follow the trail of biscuits.
That's right. There are ways.
All right, so let's get into this. So yes, we'll backtrack a little bit and do the Batman Annual 17 from September 1993. Ballistic, not biscuit, Ballistic. Writer Doug Mensch, who writes all versions of Batman, Bruce Wayne, Jean-Paul Valley, White Batman, all of it.
All of them.
What the F?
So yeah, writer Doug Mensch, penciler Eduardo Barrado, inker. Oh, he's also the inker. Yeah, you get that money.
Yeah.
Colorist Adrian Roy, letterer Albert the Guzman, and editors Dennis O'Neill and Jordan B. Gorfinkel. Jean-Paul Valley, still relatively new in his role as the Batman since Bruce Wayne's back was broken, struggles with how to stop an alien serial killer in Gotham City, this time Angon. Although he knows he must figure out how to solve the problem himself, he knows the beast is too dangerous for others, and warns Commissioner Gordon to tell his men not to directly engage it if they encounter it. Yeah, because he's at GCPD headquarters. John Paul leaves, runs into this alien like killing somebody in an alley, and like barely gets away with his life. So he goes back to Gordon and says, "Yeah, tell your men do not directly engage the thing because they'll end up dead."
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
This is the first time that he's encountered one.
Yes.
Of these things.
Yeah. Because I forget at what point in this issue he makes the comment. He's like, yeah, I know Bruce. Bruce has encountered one of these things. He's like, I wish he had time to tell me how he defeated it.
Right.
So this is the one thing Bruce Wayne did not put in the computer.
He didn't have time.
So that's weird. So later on, we know he put Joe Public in the computer, but he didn't put what happened with the alien.
Oh, yeah, the creature.
Yeah. Although, I mean, Bruce Wayne really didn't defeat it. They basically just, like, drove it away.
Right. Yeah, he never saw it, like, destroyed. Yeah.
Despite Batman's warnings, a tactical SWAT team still engages the hostile and finds themselves cut to threads when they fail to perceive its real threat until too late. The full squad is massacred by Angon, with the exception of one Calvin Mao, who barely survives despite being bitten and is taken to the hospital in a full body cast. When Mao wakes up, he finds himself with a strange invulnerable carapace covering his entire body, which he is unable to dent despite many weapons he tries on himself to test his limits. He escapes from the hospital and travels home along the rooftops, finding himself also possessing superhuman strength and agility. And they don't even mention it here, but he has like a kind of night vision that like kicks in when he's in the dark. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Immediately recognizing his superhuman powers, he decides to suit up in full high-tech SWAT gear with some additions and goes out to find Angon and slay her for killing his entire team.
Baby. Yeah.
Because every time we see this parasite in the comic, yeah, she's like luring men in with like, "Oh, can you help me?" You know, basically seducing them, and it's just like, yeah, ripping their spines out.
Yeah. Yeah, she's the redhead of the group. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this woman rips their spines out. It usually doesn't come till after marriage, right, boys? I joke. I kid. I love you, Danielle. Don't kill me. And if you kids are good, I'll share the picture of her holding hands with my wife. I mean, Lilith holding hands with my wife.
I've seen that picture. I love that picture.
I know.
It's a great one.
He travels to Gotham City Police Headquarters and activates the bat signal to introduce himself to Batman under his new adopted alias, Ballistic. He also meets Commissioner Gordon in this way, and he and Batman set off to take Angon for themselves. Which John Paul agrees to team up with him because first he told Gordon he was going to, take care of the parasite, but then he sees the signal and John Paul's like, he's like, what do I do? He's like, I don't have any plan. He's like, what do I tell Gordon I expect him to come up with a plan now? But then he shows up with Ballistic's like, let's team up and take it. And Jean Paul, I think he even tells him, he's like, other than I don't know why I'm teaming up with you other than I have no plan to beat these things. So
I need the help in this instance.
Yeah.
He realizes that he needs the assistance. He can't do it himself.
Yeah, because Gordon realizes who he is and telling Batman, he's like, yeah, he's got all these commendations and he's been wounded in the line of duty a few times. And Jean Paul's like, oh, what? I'm supposed to take him serious. I'm supposed to think he's tough because he got wounded a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And now he looks like a creature of some sort. He's got this carapace all over him.
Well, yeah, because he even, when he goes home, he, like, mentions, like, he likes Star Trek and playing computer games. He's like, no, I look like something out of them all.
Yeah.
They find the parasite down by the docks, and through a complex and snappily thought of series of events, manage to bait her away from the innocent civilians, carrying her away on the top of their car. The three of them arrive at a warehouse where they begin to really fight Angon. They say a warehouse, but no, it's like an abandoned house, which John Paul found on, like, it was like Wayne Real Estate or something. He was like on the computer in the Batcave, yeah.
Some rundown old tenement.
Yeah, and you know, he finds a rundown. Well, no, it's like, it almost looked like it might have been a mansion, but it's been abandoned and run down. It's on the edge of a cliff, so keep that in your head.
Naturally,
yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So it says warehouse, but yeah, they take her to this house where they begin to really fight Angon. After a lengthy battle, which Ballistic saves Batman's life at least once, they manage to escape just before blowing the warehouse up with Angon inside of it. Yeah, because they set these explosives, and like Jean Paul's got this hang glider, and then Ballistic's like, "Go, catch up!" So you know, he pulls the pin on this grenade, and then like jumps out. He throws the grenade. You know, she's all mutated into her monster form. He throws the grenade in her nose.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Then he dives out the window and jumps on Batman's hang glider.
And I love too that the big heavy guy could like jump on top of the hang glider and not crash it.
I know. So yeah, she gets blown up and thrown in the ocean. Afterward, Ballistic speaks with Batman about possibly taking up his own career as a vigilante, although he would have to find methods of payment for it as his high-tech equipment is expensive. Batman leaves wordlessly, and Ballistic ponders how he'll be getting back home. Elsewhere, Angon, in her human form, washes up on a beach, winded, but definitely still alive. Yeah, and she like finds some old guy. She's like, "Oh, help me,
help me, please."
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, so you said you remembered a lot of this.
Yeah, I remembered a lot of it. I remember the artwork being really good. Eduardo Barreto is one of my favorites too. He sadly passed away a few years ago, but I always really enjoyed his stuff anytime I've ever seen it. And I was really happy that he did this whole annual. It was really good. And I liked Ballistic too. I thought he was a pretty cool character. I liked that he was a member of the tactical, the GCPD,
like the SWAT team.
SWAT team. I liked that. I liked that it was cool that we saw that in his backstory.
Yeah.
And that he had like kind of this, he had been like a veteran of the squad for a while, you know.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, like Joe Public's pretty cool, but I think Ballistic is like my favorite one of these guys to come out of the Batman annuals this year. Yeah. I think it's like Ballistic, then Joe Public, and then was it Geist? And then
for me, I think I like Geist the best.
Oh,
just because
yeah.
I liked the look of the character. I liked the suit a lot. I thought it was a cool look, and his powers were cool. But Ballistic is second for me. Yeah,
I think like I thought you were going to say Joe Public, but I think there were a lot of duds this year. But I think the Batman books had like maybe some of the strongest characters that come out of this.
I agree. I really liked them all. I liked Joe Public a lot. I liked Cardinal Sin and. Who was the other guy?
Oh, Cardinal Sin. Yeah, who's the other one?
I forget now.
Yeah, I forget. We did talk about them. Yeah, Cardinal Sin. Darn it, I cannot remember. Hold on.
Was it Penance, maybe, or
something like that? I think.
That was the Legends of the Dark Knight annual.
Yes. Yeah. Hold on. I might be able to find a link here because I see like all the listing all the annuals here. Right, Batman Legends of the Dark Knight Annual 3. It was Samaritan and Cardinal Sin. Yeah,
Samaritan.
Yeah,
okay, Samaritan. Yeah, I liked Samaritan too, even though I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah.
I thought all 5 of those were really good characters. Whereas with the Superman annuals, where we had 4 characters in the Superman annuals, I don't think those characters were as strong comparatively
Yeah, no.
If you were going to compare the ones that were introduced in the Batman and the Superman annuals.
I mean, yeah, probably the only one that come close was like Loose Cannon, which you and Russell talked about. Yeah.
Yeah. The one of DC's attempts to make a version of the Incredible Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then what was it? The only other one I think was it worth discussing at all was it Sparks, who met Superboy?
Sparks.
Yeah.
Yes, I liked her too. Yes. And I had hoped that she would go on to do other things, because I could see her fitting in like a team setting.
Yeah.
Like the Outsiders or the Teen Titans or something like that. I could have seen her fitting in one of those groups really well.
I'm trying to remember. She might have shown up in there was a team book, Superboy and the Ravers, which I swear Superboy wasn't even in half the time.
Was she in that?
She might have made some appearances in that. It's been so long since I read that thing. Oh, my Lord.
I never read that.
That's all right, kids. I mean, the 90s were wild. Not only did Superboy have a solo title, but he had like a team book, too.
The Superman and the Ravers.
Oh.
I loved it. I remember wanting to read it because I thought I would be at least really tickled by it. But
I don't
for
remember.
some reason, I never got into it.
It's been so long since I read it, but I don't remember being too impressed with it, because I remember thinking, like, there's not enough Superboy in this thing.
Yeah, and it looked like it was the creative team changed frequently on it.
Yeah, and I think they tried to use Superboy as like a red herring, where it's like, oh, here, try this book, Superboy's, just using Superboy's name to get people to try this book.
Yeah, and he'd be only in it for maybe a few pages or something. Yeah.
Boy, wait till we get to like 1993 or so on Electric Mullet. I mean, there's gonna be a plethora of stuff we can cover.
The Reign of the Supermen. That's going to be
but after that, I mean, Superboy has his own ongoing. Steel has his own ongoing. Yeah. Supergirl gets a miniseries. Well, Matrix gets a miniseries until then an ongoing later on. So,
yep.
Yeah, the Eradicator gets a miniseries.
Yeah, and goes on to join the Outsiders for a while. Valor, if we wanted to get really tangential about it. Valor. I was
going to say, we got enough with, like, Superboy got, like, 100 issues.
Yeah. I love that series, too. That was such a good one.
All right. I know what else I wanted to say. It's so weird. I remember, like, noticing this, like, every time I read this, even, like, from the first time on. The art. Remember when, like, John Paul would wear glasses?
Yeah.
And, like, they kind of did that in this issue, but I don't know if the colorist got the wrong point, because he's in the Batcave. Looks like he's wearing sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
He's looking like
John Lennon.
Yeah, he's almost looking like a blonde Matt Murdock there.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah, whoops. Got the shading wrong.
Like, I would be surprised if you weren't familiar with this character and everyone's like, wait a minute, a blind guy took over for Batman? What?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I don't know if it's just like the colorist, didn't get the message, or just
maybe he wanted to hide the fact that he hadn't gotten a lot of sleep and his eyes were bloodshot and puffy under those dark sunglasses.
But meanwhile, he's in the cave by himself. It's just like, okay.
Yeah. I know, yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Oh, I thought he got you started using contacts when he got the haircut, but his hair's cut and he's wearing them glasses.
Yeah. That must have been before he got the transition lenses.
All right, so should we get to the Batman issues?
Yeah, we've got 2 of those to talk about.
Yeah. All right, because Ballistic's going to return, kids.
That's right.
All right, so yeah, we're going to get our first full adventure with him in that new armor. Remember, he upgraded at the end of last time? Yeah. All right, so Batman 506 from April 1994. Malevolent Maniaxe. Yes, kids. Maniaxe. Written once again by Doug Mensch. Penciler Mike Manley. Anchor Joe Rubenstein. Colors Adrian Roy. Letterer Ken Brzezinski. And editors Dennis O'Neil and Jordan B. Gorfinkel. So, after improving the Batsuit one more time, Batman starts looking for Abattoir, who is still at large. Meanwhile, in Blackgate, Henry Etchison, Abattoir's cousin, asks his lawyer to put on a contract on his cousin's life. The reward is settled at $100,000 to anyone who kills Abattoir. Back in Gotham, the former police officer Kelvin Mao is looking for some job as a mercenary under the name of Ballistic and asks a local bartender to contact him if some work appears. Somewhere else in the city, a trio gang named the Malevolent Maniaxe act as debt collectors and injure the people who can't afford to pay them. They decide to start to act as bounty hunters and start to look for Abattoir to claim the price. At the same time, Ballistic is contacted by the bartender to inform him of the bounty over Abattoir's life. Following the only clues to find Abattoir, Batman reaches one man who helped the killer in the past, but the effort was futile as the man knew nothing. At that time, Commissioner Gordon was arguing with Mayor Kroll because he supported the Batman's new radical attitude towards crime and wanted the GCPD to act the same way, something Jim wouldn't approve. He was left wondering what has happened to the Batman he knew. In order to find further clues, Batman goes to the Batcave and searches the Bat-computer records on Abattoir. The Malevolent Maniacs go to the man Batman already questioned and realize that there might be other bounty hunters out there and rush to find the second man. The gang head to a warehouse where they find another man who was involved with Abattoir in the past. They were beating the people in the warehouse when Batman blew one wall with rockets from his new armor. Just as he was about to stop the trio, Ballistic appears and suggests to Batman that they team up, but the money goes to him. So yes, kids, that new armor, literally rockets come out of those gauntlets.
Rocket launchers, yeah.
He just blows like the door or the wall off the warehouses.
Yeah, Jean-Paul Valley is not messing around anymore.
The ultimate, I don't give an F armor, you know?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is there anyone else on the other side of that wall? I don't care.
Yeah. And you know if he catches up with Abattoir, he's going to cram one of those rockets right down his throat.
Well, some orifice, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, yeah, he didn't care who's behind that wall. But I guess, I don't know, middle of the night, if you're in a warehouse, he's just like, oh, you're up to no good.
That's true. There's going to be some type of illegal activities going on in there at this hour of the night.
This is the first issue of Joe Rubinstein's run as inker on Batman.
Oh, no kidding. That's cool. Yeah, he does great with Mike Manley.
Oh, yeah.
I think before this, Mike Manley was inking his own stuff. But I can see where that would get tough to do after month.
Oh, yeah.
A regular inker after a while, yeah.
Yeah, I like Rubinstein inking Manley stuff because it seems like it's a little more detailed, like a little more like, yeah, it's not as muddy and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Manley on himself is bad, but yeah, I kind of like this a little bit better. It's like, yeah, refines it a little more.
Mm-hmm. And plus with the new armor.
Yeah.
I think it looks good with the new armor, too, to have this different look. Yeah.
But yes, if anyone who reads this doesn't get the joke, well, here. The history. The Malevolent Maniacs started out as a post-punk band, but turned to crime when their musical career failed. They became enforcers known for attacking their victims with an axe. Yeah, they're hired to hunt down Abattoir. But yes, the Malevolent Maniacs are visually based on the famous comedy group The Three Stooges,
as well as some of their dialogue.
Yeah, similar to their namesakes, they also repeatedly abuse each other with comical slapstick violence. But yes, instead of Mo, it's Mojo, and then instead of Larry, it's Harry. And
yeah.
Instead of Curly or Curly Joe, it's Surly Schmo.
Surly Schmo. I love it so much.
So I'm guessing Mensch must be like a Three Stooges fan.
Yeah. Or at least saw like the entertainment value.
Yes.
In having like this crazy gang of serial killers. Well, not killers, but like.
Well, they attack people with an axe. They probably have killed somebody.
Yeah. And that one guy, I mean, they bust up his leg so bad with just not even the bladed end of the axe. They start smashing his kneecaps in.
But yes, according to this, yes, these two issues are their own first and only appearances. So.
Oh, they don't appear after these? No kidding.
Nope.
Oh, that's too bad. Because I love it. I think that it's hilarious. These Three Stooges kind of characters in the middle of Gotham City.
I know. It's so funny too because it's like Jean-Paul's getting darker and darker, and then meanwhile Mensch is like throwing in the Three Stooges in the middle of this.
Yeah. And then Ballistic on top of it all. You know, it's a classic case of Doug Mensch, because he does this in a lot of his scripts, as you know. He'll kind of have one idea and then he'll throw all kinds of other things into the mix and into the blender and just hit the button on it, and it will just whirl into the cyclone until it resolves itself. It's great. I love it. Yeah.
But it's so funny because, like, the guy covered in guns and grenades isn't the most violent person in this issue.
Right, yeah. Or the most psychotic one. Yeah. I love it when they're having the fight. The malevolent maniacs are having the fight in the warehouse with the guys that are unloading the boxes from the truck. And there's that one guy that says, "They're nothing but stone morons. Get them!"
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's so funny. And then to have Ballistic come in at the very end of this was a great way to end this issue and have it set up for next time. Great cliffhanger. Because you're like, what's going to happen next? Like, are Ballistic and Asbats going to get into it? Like, what's going to happen with the Malevolent Maniax next? And where's Abattoir?
Mm-hmm. I know, we don't even see Abattoir, yeah. But I just love Jean-Paul just like blows the wall off that warehouse. He's like, not a move from anyone.
It's so good. It's so good. Because, you know, he could have stayed in the Batmobile and just rammed through the door. Right? Or he could have, you know, stealthily smashed through the skylight. You know, there was a skylight in that warehouse. He could have done any number of traditional Batman-esque stuff to get into that building. But he was like, no, F it. Here comes some rockets.
I know.
We're doing it live.
Don't write it, we'll do it live. But I'm really liking the look of this armor. I mean, Manley was drawing the armor good, but especially now the new armor, and he got, you know, with Rubenstein on inks, I think it looks, especially like that first page splash.
That first page is so good.
Yeah.
It looks so sleek and powerful, and yeah, really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of
colors. The colors are really good too.
Oh yeah, the colors, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good panels, I think, like when he's standing there in the pool hall, and especially the when those rockets pop out of his gauntlet. I dare you kids to name it to find me a more 90s panel than Asbats with rockets on his arm.
Yeah. Just about to deploy those suckers.
I think I have to.
I even love the panel where he's shooting them into the outer wall of the warehouse. It's great.
I think I have to put that up on social media somewhere. Like, put that panel up. People like, find me. I dare you to find a more 90s. You know,
it's a good challenge.
The only way that panel was more 90s is if there was a woman with like large breasts behind him.
Yeah, and a toothpick waist. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's DC. Well, it's DC, so Spider-Man and Wolverine can't show up.
Right. Or Ghost Rider.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, who could show up? But, I mean, what's Azrael? So he's the 90s character making an appearance.
That's true. And that 2-page splash panel was really good, too. As he's blowing up the wall, and there's this big brawl going on inside the warehouse on the other side of the wall. So good.
But we also get, like, what is it? Yeah, 2 panels of Bruce and Alfred.
Yeah.
Basically setting up what we're doing next episode. You know, basically it's like, oh, rescuing Tim's dad wasn't enough. I have to find Sandra.
Yeah. Remember, Knightquest, the search, is still going on.
I know.
Yeah, parallel to all this stuff.
It was so hard to find though too, because remember, it kind of started in like Justice League Task Force, then it jumped to Shadow of the Bat, and the next episode it's going to be Legends of the Dark Knight.
Legends of the Dark Knight, yeah, it was all over the place. It was very hard to follow for sure. That was the one that I had the least amount of issues of, actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, just the Malevolent Maniaxe.
So funny. I love them. That kind of bums me out that these 2 issues were their only appearances. I would have hoped that they would have appeared at least once more, but oh well.
Yeah, come on, current Batman writers, come on.
Yeah, dig up some of these old 90s characters. Some of them are really good.
I mean, you need cannon fodder? Come on.
Yeah, right. Well, that's what they did with Ballistic, but we'll get to that.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get
50.
get 507, and then we'll talk this as a whole. All right. All right. Batman 507 from May 1994. What's the title of this one? Ballistic.
Noticing a theme here.
So, yes, kids, the same title as the annual. Yes.
Maybe they were in the same month.
No.
Actually, this was September. That was September, wasn't it?
Well, wait a second. Yeah, no.
The annual was September.
No, wait. The annual was September 93. 507 was May 94.
Oh, the whole 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Maybe Ben's just forgot. I don't know.
I guess.
Or he thought we forgot. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, writer Doug Mensch again. This time, fill-in penciler Jim Ballant.
That was a surprise.
Yeah. Inker Frank McLaughlin. Colorist Adrian Roy. Letterer Willie Schubert. And editors Dennis O'Neill and Jordan B. Gorfinkel. So yeah, so we got Ballant art this time, kids.
Yeah, very different.
Ballistic arrived at the warehouse to find Batman against the trio gang, the Malevolent Maniaxe. Ballistic tells Batman to team up again to oppose the trio. In a handicap match at gunfire of who wrote this? Gunfire started. At that time in Blackgate Penitentiary, Henry Etchison called his lawyer Winston Brock to make sure the bounty over his cousin Abattoir was already set. Back at the warehouse, the gunfire escalated quickly and it started a fire. The trio escaped and left Ballistic and Batman to save some knocked out thugs from burning. So Jean-Paul's not completely gone. He's like, yeah, no, we got to save these guys.
Mm-hmm.
Batman and Ballistic head to the last person involved with Abattoir in the past, the owner of a nightclub whose name was Raph Luxor. The Malevolent Maniaxe did the same and arrived first at the place and killed Luxor. Wait, did they kill him? Batman and Ballistic defeated the trio and asked them why they are pursuing Abattoir, and so they learned of the 100,000 bounty on Abattoir. Batman and Ballistic go to Brock's place and demand info on Henry Etchison's real estate properties, as well as payment in advance. Batman tells Ballistic to take all the money as he just wanted the information. When Batman leaves, Ballistic ties up Brock and calls the police and tell them about the blood money contract. After that, he decides to leave Gotham City. He's like, yeah, Gotham's too small with this Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, in the previous issue, we forgot to mention that Ballistic had this little kind of lair in the sewers,
yes.
like this little place that he had like free electricity and like all the running water, obviously, and all this other stuff. But he didn't have any food. He was starving.
Yeah, because he kind of set it up in the annual. Yeah, he went underground. Yeah.
Yeah. So his main thing was he needed to find a steady source of income so he could just afford to eat.
Yeah, food and his weapons. Yeah.
Yeah. Those weapons are pretty expensive to maintain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But, I thought the Ballant art was good, too.
Yeah, it was kind of weird at first. When I was first reading this, it was a weird transition to go from Mike Manley to Jim Ballant, but I love his artwork anyway, so it didn't bother me. And he draws a good Ballistic, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I must applaud Jim Ballant's restraint because, there are dancing girls in this club. It looks like a Egyptian theme. Not a basketball in sight.
Yeah, they were very tasteful. Yeah.
I'm just
It's very toned down.
That's how I'm like, I wonder if they made him tone it down because it's the Batman book. They're like, no, you say that for Catwoman, okay?
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I think even in the earlier Catwomans, he hadn't gotten quite too crazy with her upper cleavage yet.
It's one of those Power Girl situations. It just kept getting bigger.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, doing those high wire trapeze acts in Gotham City with all that top heavy situation going on,
or just like sneaking through ventilation shafts, or going through windows. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But
sounds like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah. Oh, but this is so funny, them taking down the Maniacs and, like, their leaders,
Oh,
like,
no.
punching Batman. Just, like, injuring himself on that armor. Because, like, Jean-Paul is just, like, putting up, like, the sharp parts of, like, the gauntlets in his boots and stuff. And the guy's just, like, cutting himself up.
He goes to kick him in the leg and gets sliced up on the blades on his leg. It's a great fight here at the end. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, again, it doesn't take too much, but...
And he headbutts Harry.
Yes!
Headbutts Harry. Knocks him out cold.
Headbutts him with that helmet, yeah. Because he questions him, and he's like, how are you supposed to get paid? And he's like, oh, from Winston Brock. And then, you know, Jean-Paul's just like, oh, listed in the computer as a Henry Etchison's lawyer. Headbutts.
Yeah.
Gave him what he wanted, and he still headbutts him with that metal helmet. Not that these guys didn't deserve it, but... You know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. These guys are ruthless, and they tried to kill them more than once. Yeah.
But I love
that was a great...
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I just love when Batman and Ballistic go to wake up the lawyer in bed.
Oh, yeah.
Because Jean-Paul now has, like, his... We've seen it both of these issues. He's like a mini bat signal in his chest now.
Yeah. It's so good. I love that he can do that. But I also love the 2-page spread where they're fighting in the middle of that casino place, and Jean-Paul's just shooting those blades wildly at them, and these guys are hopelessly outmatched here. That was kind of my only complaint with this story was that even though I like the Malevolent Maniacs, I think they're great villains. They seem so underpowered to fight. Asbats with his brand new armor that he just upgraded after his conflict with the Corrosive Man, and this heavily armored character called Ballistic.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, Jean-Paul could have just cut through these guys quickly by himself, and now we have Ballistic too. Yeah,
right. And I get that there were other guys for them to fight too on the sidelines. It wasn't just like they were fighting only the Malevolent Maniacs by themselves. But it just seemed like the stakes weren't very high here. Like we had a pretty good idea that these Malevolent Maniacs weren't going to win.
Again, with the Maniacs, I think maybe Doug Mensch was trying to lighten the mood a little bit because I mean, the next issue of Batman, it's going to get heavy.
Yeah, things are going to get really dark really quickly, and
by heavy I mean gravity.
Yeah. Ouch. Yeah. For anyone who hasn't read this before, yeah, we're about to witness Asbats' greatest defeat, actually.
But, I mean, we still have some stuff to do before we get there, so.
Yeah, but it's coming.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, Ballanchaw's that armor good, too.
Yeah. The claws, especially.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the claws look really good.
Because it's like they're so sharp, and like if you look at it, I mean, they even got like, you know, the knuckles are sharp, so
yeah, they look almost kind of monstrous.
And the whole thing's bulletproof. And we find out it's flame-proof too, because
yes.
I love when Ballistic tries to save him when the fire starts. He's like, the suit is flame-proof. It's like, oh.
He's just looking at him like, what are you doing?
And Ballistic's like, come to think of it, my new skin is too, probably.
Yeah. Probably.
That's.
I like how the casino's name is Queen of Denial.
Oh yeah,
that's great. So good.
I love the Maniacs. Yeah, when they bust into the club, there's like these girls are dancing with these mummies, but
mummies. Yeah.
I guess they let the mummies go because you don't see them after like they burst in. They just grab the girls.
Well, I think Jim Balin probably had more fun drawing that.
Well, yeah. You
know, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, again, it's like I think this is something modern. Some of the modern storytellers need to hear. It's like every issue doesn't have to be like cosmic stakes, end of the multiverse stuff. It's like,
right.
Again, we got like, you know, they basically this issue was them battling 3 losers. You know. Yeah,
3 crazy knuckleheads that were trying to get a lot of money by killing somebody. Yeah, like I said, the stakes weren't very high in this story. You pretty much knew going into this that Ballistic and Asbats were going to be just fine. The only thing that you didn't know was where Abattoir is. Everybody's looking for him, but nobody can find him.
And I mean, going after these 3 guys was such a long shot because, like, all these guys was like they helped them escape from Arkham. I think it was like Detective 628. But yeah, like that's all that was their only connection. They helped them escape from Arkham. The time before Nightfall.
Yeah, that was kind of a reach, right? Yeah.
But now Jean Paul has the real estate record, so
right. Yeah. Now
his
hunt continues.
I mean, it's a good theory because I mean this guy is obsessed with family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a good way to move the overall story along.
Yeah,
because we have the stuff with his dad in prison, who we find out is more concerned. He's not concerned about his son. He's concerned about the trust fund money. If his son dies and he doesn't get a penny of that. So that's what he's really concerned about. Really nice dad, huh?
Yeah, like at the beginning of 506, the lawyer's like, I'm surprised you care about your son, seeing how you never mention him. And he's like, no, forget that. He's like, I just don't want to lose my money.
Right, yeah. There's a reason I don't mention him. Yeah, that was dad of the year, right?
Yeah. Oh, that poor kid.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. I love how like father and son kind of have like the same mustache.
Really?
They almost look the same.
Do, yeah.
They almost look like twins, except the father's a little more gray. But yeah,
a little gray in the temples. Yeah, I think they even have the same sunglasses. Same prescription.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, any other thoughts on these, Justin?
I really enjoyed these. I enjoyed these a lot. I liked Ballistic. I liked the Doug Mensch scripts are always enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
All of his sound effects were great. Like that one panel in 506 where he bashes that guy's head in, or not his head, his kneecap in with the axe.
Oh,
there's a great Doug Mensch sound effect. Bwacksh. Bwacksh. You know, there's a ton of those in both of these Batman issues, and they're fantastic. And the action is great. The action is excellent in both of these.
And I mean, and it's a nice change of pace too. Just, I mean, well, the humor aside too, it's like Jean Paul. You know, we're used to seeing him fighting like Bruce Wayne's old villains and stuff, and you know, basically like, oh, how does the new, you know? But again, it's like guys Bruce Wayne's never come across, so it's it's basically just a clean story where yeah, he's looking for Abattoir, but the Maniacs, it's they're
getting in his way.
Yeah, Bruce Wayne's not wasting his time on the Maniacs.
Right. Right. Yeah, he probably didn't even have a file on them, did he? Yeah.
If he never come across them, maybe not.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe, I mean, they turned to this after their punk band broke up, so it's like,
oh yeah,
maybe that was after Bruce got his back broken. So
yeah.
So yeah,
I enjoyed these. I read about Ballistic too. So after this, Ballistic went to a couple of groups. He was a member of a couple of teams. There was one called the New Blood.
Oh yeah, wasn't that? Yeah, all the New Blood characters. Yeah,
which was or the Blood Pack rather.
Yes,
that's what it was. But then after that, he sadly made his way into the battle for Metropolis during Infinite Crisis. And he teamed up with several other former members of the Blood Pack to tackle Solomon Grundy. While fighting Grundy, Ballistic and the other members of the Blood Pack present, along with that incarnation of Grundy, are killed in a blast of heat vision from Superboy Prime. And during Blackest Night, Ballistic was resurrected as a member of the Black Lantern Corps. He, along with other members of the Blood Pack, were organized by Alexander Luthor to attack Superboy Prime. So he actually appeared quite a bit after this.
Yeah,
as opposed to some of the other New Blood characters that just kind of maybe appeared once or twice afterwards, but that was it.
And again, it's like I said, I think he's one of the better characters that come out of that event. So
I think so too. Yeah.
And I mean, it seems like that's true because it seems like that character spoke to a few people because, like you said, he shows up a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those people, I don't think they made any other appearances except maybe like that Blood Pack stuff. But otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, that Blood Pack was just a 4-issue limited series. Unfortunately, it didn't go further than that. But I think that they as a group, they appeared in other things.
Yeah, because there were some weird ones. Like, do you remember the Superman annual, the one with Cyborg Superman? Was it Myriad or something? Where basically
Myriad.
Yeah, because one of the parasites feeds off this dead body, and this woman comes back, has no memory, and basically just has like absorbs the memory of other people and stuff.
Yeah, it's almost like Rogue from the X-Men.
Yeah,
sort of.
But
right?
she has no memory of her own. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Myriad. Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah.
I liked the one from the Justice League, Europe or International, whatever they were calling themselves then. Lionheart, the one that was from England. Yeah, I really liked him. He was cool. Anima was one of my favorites. She actually got her own series.
Yeah, her. And, I completely forgot. Who else came out of Bloodlines who got their own book and was big in the 90s? Hitman. I think he was the most popular. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, again, kids, it'll be a while, but eventually we're going to get the Hitman because he does guest star in an issue of Azrael, so.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right. Is it just the one?
I think it's a one and done. Okay. Yeah. The scene with Hitman, it stands out to me from the 90s. Remember Grant Morrison's JLA? It's issue 5 when they're doing like the membership drive.
Oh yeah,
and they're like, yeah, no, you're not right for this team. He's like, no, that's fine. He's like, I was in a room with Wonder Woman and my X-ray vision. I'm good.
Oh my god. Yeah. Membership drive and Hitman shows up. I love it.
Basically, everybody, that cover, there's a bunch of DC characters and Electric Superman.
Yeah.
As I said, poor Grant Morrison, he had to they gave him electric powers. Oh, I got to deal with Electric Superman for a year. And then once that's over, the next issue, he literally flies in. Oh, I'm back again. I'm normal.
Surprise. To his credit, he did a great job with that. I love Grant Morrison Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's actually my favorite Grant Morrison stuff that he's written.
That might be mine, too, yeah.
Justice League, like the Nail and all that stuff. It's so good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Rock of Ages, yeah.
Rock of Ages, yeah. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. It's one of those ones that I really love, yeah. Yeah, I love all of his Justice League stuff. But, yeah, unfortunately, the New Blood didn't really go on to much beyond Hitman. Hitman, like Anima, she had her series for like 17, 18 issues. And then she went to the Teen Titans for a while and got killed off by Prometheus. And then all the other characters pretty much got wiped out by Superboy Prime during the battle for Metropolis. Infinite Crisis cleared out a bunch of characters, and they were some of them.
Yeah.
I always thought it was a shame. I just think it's lazy when instead of actually trying to do something with these like D-list characters that are just kind of sitting around collecting mothballs, you just kill them off.
Yeah.
Instead of just actually trying to do something interesting with them, you just kill them off. I always thought that was a lazy way to do things like that, especially during events, because during events like that, they try to like clean house, quote unquote, but it's more just done for shock value, sensationalism than anything else, and it's not a really good storytelling mechanic, if you ask me.
Yeah, no, I think that's kind of one of the tropes now, where it's like, if a character hasn't made it big and they're looking for cannon fodder, or someone to kill for shock value, it's just, oh hey, how about this character that appeared twice like 20, 30 years ago? Yeah, let's kill them off, for no reason. Yeah.
Oh, a bunch of the Blood Pack. Yeah, we haven't seen them in like 20 years. Let's throw them in there. Yeah, stuff like that, yeah.
Kill your childhood, kids.
Well, during Infinite Crisis, I really don't like that story. But one of the reasons I don't is also what they did to the Freedom Fighters. I thought that was absolutely atrocious what they did to the Freedom Fighters. That whole thing was awful.
Oh, yeah. Me and Will covering Infinite Crisis on Sector 2814. I mean, that thing was just a bloodbath. I mean, I think they were just shock value. Just, we're going to kill this one. We're going to kill this one.
Yeah, and that was like in the wake of Identity Crisis, and it started that whole shift in DC where everything was meta, and we were like, ooh, all this evil crap happened in between the sidelines. The heroes aren't really good, and like, I couldn't get behind any of that stuff.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the whole industry kind of made a shift. It was like the early to mid 2000s. I mean, between Identity Crisis, I mean, Civil War over at Marvel,
Civil War,
things got dark. Yeah.
Yeah, those were dark days for us.
Yeah.
For us middle-aged comic book fans, or approaching middle age at the time.
I'm just glad for Infinite Crisis that they reined Dan DiDio in, because he wanted to kill Nightwing off, and they were like, no, that's the one you do not touch. You know,
you can't touch that.
That's why they killed off Connor Kent, because that was supposed to be Dick Grayson. They're like, no, you don't touch that, and you don't touch it. Yeah.
And they brought Connor back anyway. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, within a few years there, they killed off Connor Kent, Bart Allen, and they brought him back.
Yeah, and Supergirl, they brought her back. Yeah, everybody that's died during a Crisis event has come back, right?
Yep,
just about. Yeah,
Barry Allen.
Except the second Clayface.
I know that's what me and Lilith were talking about. It's like I guess since they have so many, that's why they didn't bring back Matt Hagen. And then once they gave Basil Karlo the Clayface powers, I'm like, we really don't need Matt Hagen. We really don't need Matt Hagen. You know, Basil's got all the powers. So
yeah. And the original Dove. Oh, we've got a new Dove now, and she's prettier. So.
We got a sexier Dove now. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But everybody else who's died during a Crisis event has returned.
Oh, yeah, even Earth 2 characters, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, there's your death report.
Yeah.
All right, anything else, Justin?
No, I think we covered all that. It was nice to come to the end of Bloodlines. It was fun to cover all that stuff again. It had been a while, and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
All right, so yes, kids, next time, it's been a while since we talked about our friend Bruce Wayne, so yes, next time we're going to do some more Knightquest The Search from Batman Legends of the Dark Knight 59 through 61.
And I believe that's the conclusion of the search, isn't it?
Yeah, we pretty much heal up that back, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, it'll already be, the week after that, it'll already be the end of the month, so yes, we're going to cover Batman Shadow of the Bat 26 and 27 with a couple of the Clayfaces, including Justin's favorite.
Yes, Preston Payne, Clayface number 3.
Yep. So, yeah.
And we get to see a baby Clayface.
Yes. Oh,
that's so good.
I know. So by that point, it'll be October, and Lilith will be back. So, yes, again, you'll get Lilith and I will cover 2 episodes where we'll cover the first 4 Clayfaces, two each episode. And then that'll get us to episode 150, where Lilith and I believe we're going to do a live watch of Batman Mask of the Phantasm for 150.
Ooh,
we were talking about doing a review. We were talking about doing. Oh yeah, if we can make it work, please join us. Because we were talking about maybe just doing a review, but I'm like, I don't know, it's 150. Why don't we do a live watch? You're like, okay,
yeah.
Have
you ever done that with the animated? I think you did with the animated show, didn't you? The Batman animated series. I could have sworn it.
I know I've done live watches with stuff. Yeah, probably the animated series because those are short episodes. But we're gonna do the full Mask of the Phantasm.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
My favorite Batman movie. I don't care. Live action, animated, that's like my favorite.
I love that one, yeah.
And it's the anniversary. Please release that in the theaters again. I have not seen that.
Yes.
I didn't see that in the theaters. I want to see that in the theaters.
I missed that in the theaters, too. I would love to see that in the big screen. I mean, we're not going to get any new stuff in the theaters for a while. We might as well start re-releasing the old stuff.
Yeah, come on, theaters. Make your money. Come on.
Right. Exactly.
I remember a few years ago when I went and saw the Transformers, the animated movie from 1986, man. I mean, I think they did like 1 showing or 2 showings or something, but I mean, that theater was pretty packed, so.
Yeah.
I mean,
if they did that, people would go to see it. Yeah, definitely.
There's interest in that stuff.
For sure.
All right, so there's my plea. All right, so send us all your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes and Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise, link to the Patreon. Again, Lilith Hellfire, all her thoughts on Marvel's Heroes Reborn are up there now. Actually got completely
uncensored.
And drunken, yes. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to figure out what to do for September. I need a September episode for Patreon. All right.
Well, yeah.
All right, kids.
Another that of the third.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if Lilith wants to be there for those, but All right, but yeah, kids, send, especially you patrons. Yeah, so there's one right there. So yeah, send in your requests. All right, so we'll drum up something. But yes, so find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right, Justin. He's here. Well, he's on We Are the Night at least once a month, but the month of September with Lilith Hellfire on vacation. Yes, he's here every week. He's over on Marvel Tales once a week, except for this month where he's on there twice a week. Yes. And now he's on Electric Mullet with me and Tyler twice a month on this feed. So,
yeah, talking about 80s and 90s Superman.
Yes, that's what we're doing tonight. Yes, but that is not all he does. He does even more podcasting. So, Justin, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on a couple of other shows. Gamma Charge, the strongest podcast there is, where me and my pal Russell talk about everything to do with Marvel's Incredible Hulk and Sensational She-Hulk twice a month. We also have a Patreon, so do check that out. And once a month, we do a live episode where we review the latest issue of The Incredible Hulk by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Klein, which is an excellent series. If you haven't checked it out, do so. And Russell and I are also joined on Predator and Prey, a Yaocha podcast with our pals Ray and Sparky. On that show, twice a month, we talk about everything to do with Fox's Predator in comic books, action figures, movies, and more. And last but certainly not least, The Lost Library of Legends is coming soon to a podcast service near you.
Scream at! I'm a sucker for a guy with a powerful rod.
That's one of the reasons it's been delayed.
And he's not talking guns, kids.
Tap, tap, tapping my way downtown. Well, that escalated quickly.
That may or may not be one of the reasons it's been delayed, but...
Cock-a-doodle-doo!
You and Lilith. I can't get any work done on Friday. Either one of you, because you're busy. That's what we need on the Patreon, like a video of like Lilith and Justin taking a road trip.
Oh man, oh that'd be scandalous. We would give them a lot of mischief.
Cannabis comics and cock-a-doodle-doo.
I think it could happen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, kids. Again, thank you for joining us. Yes, in 1 week, we'll be back to the search. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, 59 through 61. Then in 2 weeks, Shadow of the Bat, 26 and 27 with those pesky clay bases.
That's right.
And then Lilith Hellfire's back. Live in fear. Think you're afraid of the Batman? Wait till Lilith Hellfire gets here. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Join us. Come back and join us. Same bat time.
Same bat channel.
Where the night?
The Batman Podcast.
Where all the criminals go.